What's up, everybody? Welcome back to that channel, all my kings and queens. And there you go. We're gonna hit right into something that I deliberately left off my review on my patch notes because I felt like this was something that kind of needed its own video. Now, what is it that I am talking about? I am talking about this right here. I honestly I'm very worried about this, and the biggest problem is this is something that can be highly dangerous. This right here, guys, is something that I don't want to be over dramatic about it, but this is easily something that can be labeled as, illegal. The biggest problem is when they stated this in their notes, in their last dev notes, they specifically said that you will be able to transmute from your current hero to other heroes. It didn't say the other current heroes in the game, which it just means you was gonna be able to transmute to any hero. Now we have a character that is going to be coming into the game that you cannot transmute to, which means they're in breach of what they said, which is also illegal because that is a bait and switch tactic. You guys, they set the rules of what the transmutation was supposed to be, but somehow reverted those rules. You cannot do that in a marketing, in a business practice. That is literally a bait and switch tactic. Things like this can be so dangerous. I already know people who refunded from Apple because of this. I'm not going to say no names, but they got 100% all of their purchases back because of these things right here. All they had to do was show them these words right here. Yes, all they had to do was show them that, and there is a screenshot that I have put up and that many others have put out that specifically stated what their transmutation was supposed to be. They showed Apple that, and they got 100% all their refunds. I'm talking about thousands of dollars from back when the game was still in beta kind of things. So this right here is no joke. This is not something that should be acceptable. And I say that because, again, it's bait and switch. This makes no sense. All this is doing is just trying to get Wells, who wants to play Magik first, to spend money to keep re-rolling her gear. And the thing is Wells are going to do it because they're not smart enough. They don't understand. When they spend money into these kind of practices, it makes the company feel that they can keep getting away with these. That is not something that we should strive for. Honestly, if I were you, Wells, fine, play her, use what you got, but don't pull on her. Don't spend no money on her until this transmutation comes out, because we want to send a message to these guys that this right here is not a good idea, and this is highly illegal. They cannot do no bait and switch tactics. They cannot set up a system, set the rules for it so vividly clear that we all understood it, and then when the next character comes out, they rip the rug right from under us, revert all of our expectations. This is not acceptable. I see people saying, oh, all you gotta do is just wait for it to come, calm down, be patient. Like, no, that is not how this works. Now, I've also seen another argument. People say, oh, in other MMOs, when a new character come out, you can't just automatically, yes, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. But here's the thing, other MMOs are really MMOs. This game is not really a MMORPG. This is more of an MMO region ARPG Diablo ish on a smaller scale kind of MMO. And the practices inside of it aren't even MMO like. This is mobile game like, which means you do not get to pick and choose when you want to be an MMO and when you don't want to be an MMO. Another thing that goes against that is other MMOs, when you're building a character, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to build those characters. Now it might cost you loads of time to build them up to like a godly amount of level. In this game, building a character up to a godly amount of level, that does not take time. That's only money. No matter how much time you put in this game, bro, you will never get to a godly amount level because the characters are going to keep going. They're going to be if you're free to play, a low spender, hell, even if you're a whale, not a kraken, bro, for you to get to 2 million, it's going to take forever for you to even get to 2 million. I take that back. It might take you a modest time when you're a whale. Anything below a whale is going to take you forever to get 2 million. By the time you hit 2 million, everybody's probably going to be on 3 million that's spending loads of money. So therefore, the threshold for being super godly is going to keep moving. So there goes that. That's the problem number one with the argument. Another problem number two is other MMOs, they lock out your high progression gear that you stayed up for that new character up until a certain point. Like for an example, when Final Fantasy, I think it's 14 online, every time that they have a new character come out, sure, yes, they lock out the gear that you've been stashing all the way up until that character gets to a level 80 that they come out. So basically, you're building that character from the ground up until level 80, and then once you hit level 80, that's when all the resources bust open to you. Fair play. That's the same thing with Phantasy Star Universe when I used to play that game. When they first came out, all they had was beast, robots, humans. When they added fairies and angels, it was another class. But every time they added a new class, you cannot use none of your high geared, swords. You can use your legendary swords. Literally, people will hoard their legendary swords, like, oh, wait for the new class to come out. Kind of like this, sort of. But when the new character first dropped, and you couldn't use that, everybody was very pissed. But here's the difference. Once you hit, I think it was like once you made it past level 55, you were able to go ahead and equip that legendary gear that you have on there. So there was a threshold where you had to get to go ahead and get that legendary gear. This one right here, there is no threshold. You have to sit here and wait until Netmarble tells you you're able to go ahead and equip the gear that you slimy, dirty, stinky people who really thought this game cared about us. They're telling you when you can use the money and the time and the effort in order to put your gear in there that you saved up for. That's what they're telling you. What was the best thing they could have done with this? If they didn't want this game to have like stupid OP powered Magics like on the first day, first 2 days, I completely understand. But what you should have done, follow all the other MMOs. You guys are already just stealing from them anyway and just doing half-ass and less of it anyways from the jump. This is what you should have done. You can transmute to Magik all the way up until level 100. Then when you finish the story mode, because now at this time you've taken your time, you leveled up your Magik, you got some gear on her. It might not be the best gear, but you got that gear on her. You've already played around with her. You tried different skills. You got to see those skills. She's not just OP nerf walking through the whole story mode because you can't get the regional gear on her. That's fine and dandy. But then as soon as you hit level 100 and the end game explodes open for you, then that is when you should be able to transmute your gear. Period. There is none of this, we soon TM, that's when it's coming. No, not for Magik. Level 100 should be the cutoff right there, and then you gear out. Because that's so stupid that I have an alliance mate who has been waiting for Magik for I don't know how long he has been waiting for Magik since the beginning of when you guys even announced her. Now he has all the gear to level her up. He has the things to level her up and get her to 100. But the gear that he was waiting to transmute to make her on a competitive level in PvP and ranking boards, now that just went out the window because he can't transmute. So now effectively you guys have sat here and made some players wait from August all the way into December to pull the rug from under their feet. That's not acceptable. I don't think none of us should accept this. I say do not spend money on this. Make the voices be heard. I don't care if anyone unsubscribes to me because I call them stupid for spending on Magik, but that is what it is. Here's my thing. Godslave, that's my man. He's already got some regional boxes and stuff set up for her. I don't think he's going to spend on her, but I even keep it a two-way street. If my man spends on her, then yes, I'm going to say, hey, look, I think that this is a bad idea, and you're encouraging this behavior. These are the kind of behavior that are not game of the year worthy, which is why that game will not win that. So, look, I don't feel like this dev team knows what they're doing. I feel like they're just throwing things together, seeing what sticks to the wall. They're trying to test grounds. They already knew maybe Magik was going to be busted, and they wanted to put some power cap on her before it gets to the obscene points that other characters got in this game. But if that's the point, then maybe you should not make the game that pay the win. So that's my little rant here. I think this is stupid. If you spend on it, you're stupid. If the game dies and you don't get your money back, you 100% deserve it, especially if you spend on Magik, because you're stupid and you knew what you signed up for. I don't know about you guys. I didn't sign up for this shit. You didn't sign up for this shit. So let's not take it. And that's about all I have to say about that. I am going to go ahead and dip out now. Peace out.